Sports are full of what-if moments. A missed shot, a bad call, or a fumble can change the outcome of a game. But sometimes the biggest what-ifs don't happen on the field at all. They happen in the front office. Trades are supposed to make teams better, or at least give them a fighting chance. But history has shown us that sometimes general managers make deals that look fine on paper, only to turn into absolute disasters in hindsight. Today, we're counting down the 10 worst trades in sports history. These are the deals that haunt franchises for decades, fuel conspiracy theories, and keep fans up at night wondering, what were they thinking? This is part of a very special miniseries we're running in collaboration with our friends. If you're looking for the rest of the episodes in this series, or more content we're releasing down the road, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. From baseball curses to basketball legends to the greatest hockey player of all time, this list has it all. Let's get into it. Nolan Ryan is one of the greatest pitchers in baseball history. 7 no-hitters, over 5,000 strikeouts, and a Hall of Fame career that spanned 4 decades. But in 1971, the Mets sent Ryan and 3 other players to the Angels in exchange for infielder Jim Fregosi. At the time, Ryan had shown flashes of brilliance but struggled with control, leading New York to give up on him too early. Fregosi? He lasted just 2 seasons with the Mets before fading out. Meanwhile, Ryan became a legend, pitching for another 20-plus years. Mets fans have plenty to cry about, but this trade has to rank near the top. This one hurts for Tigers fans. In the middle of a playoff push in 1987, Detroit dealt pitching prospect John Smoltz to the Braves in exchange for veteran Doyle Alexander. To be fair, Alexander was excellent down the stretch. He went 9-0 with a 1.53 ERA and helped the Tigers reach the postseason. But long-term, the Tigers paid a massive price. Smoltz went on to become a Hall of Famer, racking up more than 200 wins, 150 saves, and a World Series title with Atlanta. Alexander retired just a few years later. One of the ultimate examples of mortgaging the future for short-term gain. Kareem had already won an NBA championship and 3 MVPs with the Bucks when he requested a trade in 1975, citing a desire to play in a bigger market. Milwaukee shipped him to the Lakers for 4 players, none of whom made a lasting impact comparatively. In LA, Kareem became one of the greatest players of all time, winning 5 more championships and 3 more MVPs. The Bucks were left to rebuild, and while they had some success later, they didn't sniff another title until 2021. Trading away Kareem is like trading away the cheat code to basketball greatness. In 2013, the Nets thought they were one big move away from contending, so they traded a haul of future draft picks to the Celtics for aging stars Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Jason Terry. The move blew up almost instantly. Pierce lasted just 1 season in Brooklyn. Garnett was a shell of his former self, and the team never made a serious playoff run. Meanwhile, Boston used those picks to draft cornerstone players like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. A decade later, the Celtics are perennial contenders, and the Nets are still trying to recover from one of the most lopsided deals in NBA history. Quarterback desperation makes teams do crazy things, and the Seahawks' trade for Rick Mirer is a perfect example. Seattle gave up a first-round pick to get Mirer from the Bears, hoping he'd be their franchise quarterback. Instead, he flamed out almost immediately, throwing just 6 touchdowns and 11 interceptions with the Seahawks. Meanwhile, that draft pick turned into Pro Bowl offensive lineman Sean Springs, who became a cornerstone for Washington. Mirer bounced around the league before disappearing into obscurity. Seattle eventually found its guy in Russell Wilson, but not before this brutal misstep. On paper, this looked like a blockbuster that could make the Vikings Super Bowl contenders. They sent a massive package of players and draft picks to Dallas in exchange for star running back Herschel Walker. But Walker never lived up to expectations in Minnesota, and the Vikings never made that leap. Dallas, on the other hand, used the haul of draft picks to build a dynasty. They drafted key players like Emmitt Smith, Darren Woodson, and Russell Maryland, leading to 3 Super Bowl titles in the 1990s. This is the rare trade so lopsided, it basically created a dynasty for one team while setting the other back years. Here's another case of trading away a prospect too soon. The Red Sox were in the middle of a playoff race in 1990 and needed bullpen help. They dealt a Double-A prospect named Jeff Bagwell to the Astros for reliever Larry Anderson. Anderson pitched well for a couple of months, and then left in free agency. Bagwell, he went on to hit over 400 home runs, win an MVP, and become a Hall of Famer. The Sox broke the curse of the Bambino in 2004, but before that, Bagwell was yet another painful reminder of Boston's bad luck. This one still feels surreal. Wayne Gretzky wasn't just the best hockey player in the world, he was the face of the sport. But in 1988, the Oilers stunned the hockey world by trading him to the Kings in a deal that was part hockey move, part business transaction. Gretzky helped popularize hockey in California and put the Kings on the map. But Oilers fans never forgave ownership for letting the Great One go. Edmonton did win one more cup without him, but the dynasty was essentially over. Trading away the greatest player of all time is something no franchise lives down. The Hornets selected Kobe Bryant with the 13th pick in the 1996 NBA draft, but immediately traded him to the Lakers for veteran center Vlade Divac. At the time, Bryant was an untested high school kid, while Divac was a reliable big man. Hindsight? One of the worst trades in NBA history. Kobe went on to become a 5-time NBA champion, an MVP, and one of the greatest players ever. Divac played just 2 seasons in Charlotte before moving on. Hornets fans have spent decades wondering what might have been if Kobe had stayed. The most infamous trade in sports history. In 1919, Red Sox owner Harry Frazee sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees for $100,000 and a loan to fund a Broadway play. Ruth went on to become the most legendary player in baseball history, hitting over 700 home runs and leading the Yankees to 4 World Series titles. The Red Sox? They went 86 years without a championship, haunted by the so-called curse of the Bambino. While modern sports trades can be disastrous, none had the long-lasting cultural impact of this one. Babe Ruth wasn't just a great player, he changed the game forever, and the Red Sox handed him away. By the way, that Broadway play was lost to time, along with all the other Red Sox hopes and dreams across that 86-year span. Trades are always a gamble, but these 10 stand out as some of the biggest disasters in sports history. Whether it's giving up on a young prospect too soon, mortgaging the future for aging stars, or literally selling away the best player to ever pick up a bat, these deals show just how much impact front office decisions can have. For every championship team built on smart trades, there's a cautionary tale like these waiting to remind us that hindsight is undefeated. So what do you think? Did we miss a trade that should have made the list? Let us know in the comments. And if you're a fan of sports history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more lists like these. Until next time. If you're looking for more sports-related content, check out our That's Entertainment Presents playlist. If you want to check out more retro gaming content, check out our NES Top 10 playlist. Of course, you can also jump into our That's Entertainment Megamix playlist to see all of our top 10 content mixed in together.